Hello and welcome to episode 8 of Out of Thrones, the Game of Thrones podcast. Before we start, and before I even give you the warning about spoilers, going to be a really short episode today because there's only two of us, which, it's the better two, so you're all right. I won't worry about that. But due to E3, we're incredibly fucking busy. Isn't it, Kev?
Yep. Nothing, no sleep, just writing. That's what life consists of at the minute.
Yeah. If you are into E3 and all the gaming stuff, definitely check out our website. We are going out of our way to cover as much things as possible. Turned out to be quite difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Still enjoyable. But yeah, we didn't want to shelve Game of Thrones this week. We still had to, make sure we came
on and
did
it.
Yeah. So there's no editing. So it's technically live. I mean, you can listen along now, which would be weird because I haven't put the link out there. But so there will be mistakes. There will be lack of energy because of chat.
We're running on like 2 hours sleep.
Yeah. So yeah, as usual, warning: don't carry on listening if you haven't seen episode 8 of Game of Thrones this week, which was called No One. No One. That sounds right, doesn't it?
I have no idea. Do you know what? I didn't even look it up this week.
Neither did I. My notes are so piss poor. Right. Let's crack on. Unfortunately, there's not going to be a script reading at the end either, so I'll give everyone 10 points.
We'll get back to normal next week.
Yeah, this is just a one-off because of E3, and I apologise, but, at least you're getting something, and it's free, so you can't have a go at us. Right then, Kev, where do you want to start?
Let's kick this show off. I'll tell you what, let's do it with Arya, where the show began.
Arya, where the show began. Okay, so... she's been in Braavos now for 2 seasons.
Yep.
Right. And in that 2 seasons, what have we seen? Not much.
That's very true. We've just seen a bit of training. That's about it.
Yeah, very slow. Looks like the Braavos storyline for Arya is coming to an end, though.
Yeah, finally.
So it starts off as we left off last week. Arya's been stabbed a couple of times in the belly. Doing all right, though. I think you called it last week, didn't you? That she'll turn out with the... was it you or Rob?
When I saw that scene come up, when she went into that room and I saw the candle flickering there, I was like, yes, it's going to happen. But the thing is...
No, I meant because I it was either you or Rob last week that said that I would seek help from the actress.
Oh, right, yeah, about that as well, yeah. As soon as I saw her, because that was the first scene we saw, and we saw her come on screen, I was like, yep, she's going to be the one to help her. But the whole time I was thinking, God damn it, where is Gendry? I want Gendry to help her.
I know, it is disappointing. I wasn't expecting Gendry, though, really, as much as we were like...
Yeah, I know. I was really hoping that he might have come out of the crowd or something, but
it's a shame, but she didn't last too long though, did she?
Nope.
Lady Crane, her name, wasn't she? Yeah, no, she sounds a bit more interesting. Like, she's got an interesting backstory. We learned a bit more about her. She said that she's put holes in people in the past, and she's got quite good at doing them back up again.
Yeah, I think that was the producer's attempt at trying to get us to like the character more, just so when they killed her, we'd feel a bit more emotional.
Yeah. So she was dispatched pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Not surprised, really.
Do you know what? Through the whole episode, like, I started to think, what if Lady Crane was Jaqen H'ghar? It's like, this is how my mind works at Game of Thrones now. I was thinking, what if Jaqen H'ghar has disguised himself as Lady Crane and he's the one helping Arya? But then, of course, at the end we saw it wasn't true. But
it's not that. Like, that's the problem with Jaqen H'ghar's character.
It could be anyone.
It can be anyone. You're like, well, is it him? No, obviously not. She ended up dead. Yeah, I think we'll just do the whole of Arya storyline rather than jumping about. So, the waif soon turned up for her.
You mean the Terminator?
She was, yeah.
She does exactly the same movements that T-1000 does in Terminator 2, where she just like suddenly stops and she does that head turn and looks, and then starts sprinting.
It was very mechanical, yeah. Almost a bit too mechanical. Like, I wasn't really buying it. I mean, they went a bit Assassin's Creed at one point, weren't they? Like, with the
that one scene where she jumped down.
Yeah, and like, sliding under things as she.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that thing. Yeah, that as well. Yeah.
Yeah. I quite enjoyed the chase, though we knew where it was going. We did show that we were wrong. I didn't realize that the hiding place that she hid Needle wasn't actually in the temple that we originally thought last week.
No, I did say. Remember, Luke said it was in the House of Faceless Men, but I said it's not. It's probably in a cellar somewhere.
And see, I hadn't like registered that. So I would, yeah, it kind of made that payoff a bit better. Kind of wish I saw the.
Yeah, this one thing that annoyed me about this episode this week is that there were a lot of moments where characters died that they just didn't show. I don't know if it's because the people just aren't very good at choreography and they can't fight or like pretend to fight. Like the Blackfish, for instance, we'll get to him, but we didn't see him, fight.
I don't think we're finished with him yet, though, are we?
Well, it's Alanis the soldier that said that he'd been killed. So unless he's lying.
Well, we'll have to wait. Anyway, before we get there, so obviously this storyline ends with Aya confronting Jaqen and Hagar in the Temple of the Faceless Gods, or whatever they're called. And, did I say that right? Doesn't sound.
I have no idea. Faceless Men, Temple of Faceless Men, Faceless Gods. I don't know. One of them.
We're so professional. Where's Luke? Where's
yeah, we need his book knowledge in the books.
The Many-Faced Gods. That's it.
That's the one.
Right. Anyway. Yeah. So like, I don't know what I expected. So she had the sword up to him. I didn't know if he was going to sort of press himself on it. She was going to stab him. It's just sort of a bit anticlimactic, I thought.
Yeah, I liked the way he was sort of proud of her at the end when she announced that she was going home. She was Arya Stark and she was going back to Winterfell. And he sort of had like a little proud smile on his face.
The girl finally has no name.
And I can't wait. There's something that I can't wait. Now she's heading back to Westeros. We'll get to the other character, but there's a possibility of two of my favourite characters meeting up again. My favourite buddy comedy.
That would be, wow. I don't want to get too excited thinking that could happen. So that wraps up Aya's adventure in Bravos. I'm sure we'll probably see. I don't think there'll be much more for Aya's character this series. I think we'll probably see. I don't think we'll see it next week. And in episode 10, I think we'll see her boarding the ship home.
Yeah.
I can't see what else they're going to do at this point. She seemed to have healed really well.
Do you know, the whole time she's been chased down, I was thinking, like, how has her wounds not opened back up? And then she fell down those stairs. Oh, and that fall down that stairs, I proper felt that. I thought they shot that well.
Yeah.
And then she did eventually open up her wounds again, so. She seems to have bled a lot, but, TV.
She's doing all right. Yeah, exactly. I mean, we're watching a show about dragons and things. I guess, we can accept that these people are a bit more rugged than today's people.
Yeah.
Where do you want to go next?
Let's go to my partnership I want to have between Aya and the Hound again. So let's go with the Hound.
The Hound. This is definitely the highlight of the whole episode, though.
Before we get into the Hound, Dave, I've got to ask you a question.
Okay.
Have you ever tried the finger up the bum trick when kissing a girl?
When kissing a girl?
Yeah.
It's not my first move. That was quite funny. That was quite funny. They're just it was a bit, it was a bit of a weird scene, I thought.
It was also a weird scene. Why did we have to see the Hound's cock? What was all that about?
Why not?
What, we won't just show a picture behind him peeing, which we did. We'll just show the frontal as well as he pulls it out and puts it back in as well.
Yeah.
Just seems like unnecessary shots.
Like we said last week, they've got a cock and tit quota.
Yeah.
We thought they'd filled the cock quota.
But apparently not.
So this week we see the Hound channeling his inner axe murderer as he hunts down the rogue Brotherhood Without Banners members. See, it makes more sense now that these were rogue members rather than actual members of the Brotherhood Without Banners.
Right, ready? Get your tinfoil hat again. What if Derek Dondarrion, or Beric Dondarrion rather, he sent Derek? If he sent those men to do that in order to lure the Hound onto the Brotherhood Without Banners. He could have made them go out and kill them. Then he knew that he would come find them, and then they're so like committed to the Brotherhood Without Banners, they sacrificed their lives. They got killed, and now the Hound is on side with the Brotherhood Without Banners, who obviously know about the White Walkers because Beric did say that there's a wind coming from the north, a cold wind coming from the north. And he obviously, it seems like he knows about the White Walkers anyway, and maybe he needs the Hound's help to kill them.
I don't know. I think that's a bit of a push.
I told you it's tinfoil hat.
It's very tinfoil hat. Maybe. I'd believe that he would want to get the Hound on side, but I think the setup, there would have been a lot of easier ways of doing that.
I don't know, because he was pretty committed to that group of people.
Yeah, but I think it falls apart when you've got three men clearly scared, being about to be hung. Then when they weren't there like, yeah, go on, do it, were they? You know,
Well,
one of them was.
they would be scared, but would they be prepared to die for the Brotherhood without banners? I mean, even if you were prepared to die for something, you'd still be scared.
Yeah,
I know I'm pushing it a bit, but
very tinfoil hat. We'll see. Love the like I love when we first saw the Hound come on with the axe, and he doesn't waste no time.
like straight in.
First dude Ed was off. Second dude, was it his throat? Third one.
Oh, the third one, he did exactly what he did in the old chicken tavern. He stabbed it right in the junk.
Yeah,
It's his go-to move, that one. I think that's his special.
He's pretty handy with an axe, isn't he?
Maybe that's his new weapon.
Nice to see. Oh, obviously he then went on. We saw Beric Dondarrion again. Like, it's nice to see that character again. I thought we'd.
I think Forrest and Mirror is one of my favorite characters. That like warrior priest guy.
I just want to see more of. I think we will as well, because they've been talking about him a lot this series. I think next series we're going to get a lot more of the Brotherhood Without Banners and Beric.
I hope so. I like those two characters, like Forrest and Mirror and Beric Dondarrion. I think they're like a good combo, and I think if the Hound joins them as well, that would be like quite a cool team to follow about around Westeros.
Do you think now that we've seen Beric again that it's sort of setting the audience up to accept a Lady Stoneheart or not?
Nah, it's too late. Well, I think we said this last week.
We did say it last week, but I mean, a few people have not, like, because whilst I was waiting for you earlier, I did flick over to the Game of Thrones subreddit, and a few people are talking about how it's still a possibility. And you know, I think it's too late to introduce her, but who knows?
What if they're using the Hound as that, like, stand-in for Lady Stoneheart, like the character that goes and seeks revenge?
Master Stoneheart.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see on that one.
One more thing about this before we move on. I got a new favourite line in this show now, where he says, "You get an old Clegane," and then he kicks that bucket out and he goes, "He's not." I thought that's a really cool line.
No, like, because this whole scene, like, there was a lot of great lines. I liked the one where he was like, "Fuck off." He's like, "That's going to be your last words? Not very good at this, are you?" And he just adds, "Cunt." It's like, bravo.
I thought when he said cunt, I thought he was going to say, "That's better."
Yeah. That scene is probably one of my favorite scenes of the whole series so far. Actually, I don't know why. It was just, it's nice to have like the light moments.
Yeah, I tell you, we're going to come up to my favorite scene of like this episode, and my favorite scene for a while.
Okay, right. Where are we going to move to next?
Let's do it in the order I've got my notes. Let's go Marine next.
Marine. So, looks like Varys is leaving Tyrion for a little while.
Yeah, he's heading back to Westeros. And a quick note on that: do you think it's strange how Varys arrived when Daenerys left, and now he's leaving just before she comes back? Like, is there a reason for that, or is it just like?
That's a good point. I've never really thought about it.
Maybe he knows Daenerys, or he's met her before. He's got something to do with her past, or maybe it's just like they wanted to have a character with Tyrion while she was away, and now she's back. They can just get rid of Varys and send him back to Westeros.
Wow, if not them in the same room, chances are they're the same character. That's that old storyline. No, obviously that's like tinfoil bodysuit rather than tinfoil hat.
Yeah.
I'm kind of disappointed to see the back of Varys. Like, considering he was a character I really didn't like in the beginning, I just love him and Tyrion's sort of relationship as the series has gone on. They're so funny together. The back and forth between them. It's a shame that we're not going to get any more of that.
May do in the future, but with all that's going on now, Varys is heading back to Westeros. It's very unlikely them two will see each other again.
And if they do, it won't be anytime soon.
No.
Tyrion, Missandei, and Grey Worm's sort of little weird joke telling session was again like another light point for the episode. I thought.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if we're getting all these sort of more comedic scenes to set us up for the crushing disappointment that's coming in the next day.
Isn't it? We've got 2 episodes left, and you just know, because it's been these past 3 episodes have been very like middle of the road, and it seems like they're just waiting, and then they're just going to pounce on us with that big fucking death or some misery anyway.
Yeah, definitely. But it was quite funny. I liked I liked when Grey Worm told on Sunday it was the worst joke he'd ever heard, when like minutes before he didn't know what a joke was. It's just, I don't know. It was just a cool little scene, and then the bells ring and puts an end to that.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so it looks like the Masters are back.
So when we saw the ships at first, I thought it was the Greyjoys. Obviously,
yeah, I'm not sure which of the Greyjoys I thought it was at first. I was like, well,
oh no, I just thought it was like Theon on that. There's no way he's built them ships by now. I know it's Game of Thrones, but even that's fucking pushing it.
It is, yeah. So
they've come to attack, and they're going to try and take the city back. So
obviously,
at the moment,
the deal that Tyrion had set out of them straight in the pan.
Yep, just didn't work out.
It's a shame.
But do you think, like, now we know the Greyjoys are on the way, do you think they're going to arrive and they're going to attack the Masters from the back because they're going to arrive a bit later? Maybe that will help out Daenerys. And maybe because the Greyjoys helped her in that situation, she will then accept their ships and then she will be allied with them.
Could well be. That I can see that coming. I don't know. I mean, you've got all those ships, which is great, and I mean they didn't mess about. They went straight to the flaming catapult.
Oh, that was an awesome scene as well. That
Yeah,
was the best
really
scene.
well done. I thought,
that was a really good CG scene.
Really cool scene. I'm surprised they didn't go for a more like. But if you think about it, set pieces and that aside, this is a big. This could have been a really big scene, and it was played almost off like, you know.
I think they're saving that CG budget, in there.
It must be, because I mean, this could have been like another Battle of Blackwater type event.
Unless we see more of it next week.
Well, I don't want to go into spoilers, but I couldn't help myself. I did watch the next week of Game of Thrones things, and definitely saving that CG budget. But no, I don't know. I think Daenerys has got like lots of options open to her now. I mean, she's got a dragon that she could come in and just burn the ships on the water.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't know that the Greyjoys are on the way. Would she not think, hang on a minute, I could use those boats?
Yeah, very good point.
She's got quite an army. I don't think the Dothraki are very good at sort of amphibious warfare, but who knows? Like, well, I'm looking forward to wearing that. What's gonna like how they're gonna resolve this?
Mm-hmm. I wonder where the Dothraki are. If they're like, maybe 10 days behind because she flew in on Drogon, or how far behind the Dothraki are behind her.
That's a good point. I hadn't thought of that. Then again, in the Game of Thrones universe, I never think of that because it doesn't seem to fucking affect half the characters. Yeah. So Dany's sort of return was a bit anticlimactic as well.
Yeah, I thought that it was a bit. Oh, okay.
You come through the window. I mean, we got like doors and that you could have used, but no, it's cool. It's cool. Like it would have been better if we saw the sort of ships start their siege and we didn't see Dany this episode, and then when we did see her, she comes swooping in leading an army. I mean, how much cooler would that have been?
Do you know what? I've got a feeling that Drogon's just going to fuck off again. It's like he's delivered her, because when we saw that scene, we actually came through the door. You saw him flying off in the background. So I reckon Drogon's just going to bugger off because they can't do the CG budget, like use all their money on that one scene with the dragon destroying ships.
See, this is one thing that is a little bit annoying, is that we don't, considering that she has 3 dragons, we barely see dragons.
Mm-hmm. What has happened to the other 2? They've just
disappeared off the face of the earth. They're still in the basement, just chilling.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah. Right. That's pretty much it for now, I think. We'll obviously see that resolve. I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't see that resolve next episode, if they saved that for the night. For the last episode, we might get a very short scene next week, but I can't imagine they could fit everything in.
No.
Like, this is it. There's 2 episodes left. It's difficult to see what's going to happen.
Didn't you say the last episode's like an hour and some odd or something?
It's only an hour. It's only 10 minutes longer, so it's not like it's.
Okay.
I mean, I wish Game of Thrones ended with a feature length.
That would be amazing.
Like every series, especially now we're only getting 7 next year.
Mm-hmm. Maybe they will.
Possibly, yeah. Right, where have you got next on your notes?
Next, we are going King's Landing.
Ooh, another short period of time spent in King's Landing today.
Mm-hmm. So,
Faith Militant turn up to. I guess it's like Cersei's had a bail withdrawn, hasn't she?
Yeah,
they want to. She's being recalled. She's having none of it though. And I know we've seen it before in trailers where it was, what was the line? Oh, either come with us or there will be violence. And she's like, I choose violence. And then
I was just waiting for that line as well.
They got violence, didn't they?
Mm-hmm. We got that scene that we saw from the trailer, but we got that bit extra where you sort of saw a brief shot of him pull the head up with a spine attached and just chuck it off to the side.
Which horrified him, which was great.
And seeing that, she actually shot herself in the foot with that, because that ultimately led to like the High Sparrow sticking his hand up Tommen's arse and using him as a puppet to say that the trial by combat is outlawed.
Well, that's because you know that she'll choose him.
Yeah, they saw just how powerful he was.
I know everyone wants to see Clegane Bowl. The only problem with that, I think, now is it won't have as impact as it would have had a few series ago, because he's got no personality now.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, he's just this walking. Like,
there's no emotion with it.
It wouldn't be as satisfying to see the two face off, because I like this. Like, I love the Hound as a character. I want him to get his revenge on his brother that burnt his face, and it would just be like, it just won't have that sort of impact if you know he fights.
It could still be good if we saw the emotion from the Hound as he kills him, like a relief.
I still want to see it. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying it won't be as satisfying.
But I don't, like you say, I don't think we're getting that now, because it's been outlawed. I think hopefully, because they looks like they're heading the normal trial route, they do the same sort of trial they did with Tyrion, where it's actually really interesting.
And you can bet your ass we're going to act it out. So the trial by combat is now banned, as it's an affront to, they said any kind of system of accountability should be abolished.
And it was made by lords to something or other get out of.
Yeah, I mean, I really growing to dislike Tommen with a passion. I didn't particularly like him before, but I mean, we've gone from having, you know, at least Joffrey had balls. You know, at least Joffrey had conviction. Tommen's just,
The thing is, he has got conviction now, but it's conviction.
It's not his conviction.
Yeah,
it's not his.
Yeah, it's the High Sparrows.
That said, I now can't see a way that Cersei is going to get out of this.
Well, at the end there, did you notice that like Dodgy Meister said to her about some sort of rumor, and then she said, "Is it true or is it just nothing?" And he said, "It's true." I wonder what rumor he's on about.
Well, I would think it was. There's a rumor in the universe that King Aerys, the Mad King, had hidden caches of wildfire around the city. That's how he was going to burn the city to the ground.
So you think it may be Cersei's big plan? Just to burn the place down.
Maybe Cersei is just going to be like, well, you know, fucking what?
If I can't have it, burn it to the ground.
Yeah. Again, like, I just want them to get to the trial now. We've been talking about the trial for ages. You know, it's been 9 episodes. It'll be 8 episodes since the Walk of Shame, wasn't it? Because it was episode 10 last series, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
So we've had 9 episodes, and Cersei's still just sort of wandering around looking a bit agitated.
Yeah, I think it's just all build up, isn't it?
Which is fine, but I wish we'd saw a bit more of the High Sparrow, because I like hating on him.
You just like fucking love to hate him.
Yeah, he's a great character just to watch and want to just punch in the face.
It's very conniving.
Yeah. So Cersei's going to be. Is it 7 septums that are going to judge her? That will go well, won't it?
As long as it's not a really boring trial. I want something along the lines of Tyrion's, where it's like really interesting. But I'm trying to think, if they do that, what sort of format it would take. Whether they would call Jaime, or maybe Marjorie would be a witness to her or something, and she'll put her in the shit.
Possibly. That leaves us one. If I'm correct.
Yep. What place to visit?
And that's River Run. Now, I've got to be honest, I need to watch the River Run scene again, because this was when my baby was really playing out and I'm trying to watch it, you know. I was getting very angry and very, very stressed out. I got the gist of it, but if I speak out of turn, correct me.
Yep, I will do.
I didn't have enough time to watch it again before we recorded, so. We finally saw Jaime and Brienne reunited. I was wrong. It turns out that she was trying to do what was it Luke claimed she would try and do last week? Was it you?
What
Have
was
you
that?
just been where she was going to persuade him to let
Yeah, that was me. You said.
head
I think it
north
was
and,
me anyway.
and help Sansa? And I was like, well, there's no way he was going to want her to help Sansa. And to be honest, that was his plan. So yeah, I accept defeat on that one. You were right.
Mm-hmm.
I loved that we saw more of Jamie's character. Like I know we've seen him being a bit more respectable, and
Thing
then
is,
when
fucking
he
Jamie, man. 1 minute you think he's honourable, and then the second
yeah,
he thinks about Cersei, he just turns into an evil fuck again who wants to catapult babies over walls.
that's exactly what I was getting to. The conversation between Edmure and Jamie was great.
Mm-hmm.
I do like the fact, and I mean, again, this could be a clue to the whole Lady Stoneheart thing, right? That they brought up Caitlin Stark and were properly talking about her, and he said that the fierceness of Caitlin Stark and her undying love for her children. It's just the word undying, like it felt very like undying, and I mean, he was one step away from looking at the camera and winking. I felt. I am coming around to the idea that it's more of a possibility than I did previously think.
Maybe Lady Stoneheart would be part of the end game for Westeros, where she'll be the one killing all the major characters.
Very possible. Very possible. Yeah. He then threatened to catapult Edmure's son at the castle. Kind of glad we didn't get that.
Cersei's like a poison to him. The second you bring up her name or he thinks about it, he just turns evil.
It does make you wonder what sort of man he would have been if he was an only child.
Mm-hmm.
Then again, with Tywin for your dad, you've not really got much hope, have you?
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Before we go any further on this as well, I just got to quickly mention my favourite part was the Bronn and Podrick.
Oh yeah,
part.
Their
little back and forth. If I want another buddy road movie, then it's those two. They're my two favourite. Those two together, that'd be hilarious.
Yeah, I'm just glad we saw more Podrick because I mean I think it was last week we were questioning where he was, and there he is. Hi. Yeah, I do like Podrick. I love the way he was like, "Oh, she's teaching me to fight an hour in the morning, an hour at night," and it's kind of like, "Oh, bless you."
Bronn's just like makes a fool of him. It's like, look at your feet.
So Jamie convinces. Firstly, Brienne goes in, doesn't she, to talk to the Blackfish and almost add him round.
Almost.
He does come. I mean, I like the fact that they acknowledge the fact that he hasn't really seen Sansa since she was a little girl, and you know, who's Bran with a little letter. Like, you know, he said, "Oh, you could be a Lannister trick," and she does have the Lannister sword and has been allowed to cross by a Lannister. You know, I'm glad it wasn't just a case of, "Oh, okay then."
Yeah, definitely. That would have been a bit.
Yeah, doesn't quite work. And then Edmure goes in, demands to be let in, and that bloke on the wall was like, "Yeah, let him in because he's our master and all that."
But the thing is with Edmure, I actually gained some respect for him while he was in that tent, the way he was speaking to Jamie and stuff. Yeah. And then he just undoes all that hard work by going in and just surrendering and being Jamie's bitch.
Yeah, I mean, he's just such a. I know. Again, it's because we don't see much of him, so it's a character I find it hard to sort of get along with because we've barely seen him for 6 series, you know. But yeah, so he goes in and just commands everyone to let. Yeah, it's a bit of an anticlimax, really.
Yeah, it's basically a copy and paste what happened in King's Landing with the Faith Militant. Like something at the last second just stops the fight and it doesn't happen. It's like big anticlimax. It's like they're putting off all these big fights, and it's like, God damn it, I just want to see one.
Like, I know Luke said that there was going to be, because it happens in the books this way. Hey, look, I'm doing it in the books.
The books.
You know, that it was a bloodless takeover.
Yeah.
And that's what they've done here. But I don't know. It was. This episode should have just been called the Anticlimax because the things it's setting up, the payoffs haven't quite been satisfying enough for me.
I'd say the Arya one had a pretty good payoff. I enjoyed the ending with Jaqen and that, but apart from that, the others were a bit slow.
Yeah, no, overall, I've enjoyed the episode, but so just, you know, apparently the Blackfish is dead.
He is indeed. Did you miss that part?
Off screen? Yeah, I did. Off screen, off-screen death though, isn't it?
It was a Lannister soldier that came up to Jaime and said, well, Jaime said, bring the Blackfish to me. And he said he's dead. He died fighting.
I know, but off-screen. Don't trust an off-screen death.
I think I do wonder why they keep, it's like the waif as well. They didn't show her die either.
I know, it's a weird one. I mean, especially for a character that we've been waiting to see all series, and he comes along, has some great lines last episode, and then he dies off-screen this episode. It just feels a bit wasteful.
It does.
Like, I mean, I like the fact that he was saying, I haven't had a good fight in a while, so I'll probably be poor at it, whatever, and then runs up the stairs, and then that's the last we see of him. It's not good enough. Like, to be honest, I want, even if we saw him kill a couple of guards and then, get wounded and just go down honorably, that's what I wanted to see. I just feel that if he is dead and he's been killed off screen, not done the character justice again.
I think that's why we like the characters like Jon Snow and like Bronn so much, because when they go into battle, you actually see it. You actually see the choreography in the fights, whereas these other characters, they get built up and then they get to the fight and you just don't see it. It's like, I wanted to see the waif die. That was a big death I was looking forward to, and it just didn't materialize.
I see why they chose to do that one that way.
Yeah.
It was in the dark and it kind of left you wondering, like, although anyone who thought that Arya might have come off that one the worst, idiot. It wasn't going to happen that way. I hope that's not the end of the Blackfish. I hope that somehow, I can't see how. I have no theories on how he got away, but you know,
if it had been like somebody else, maybe one of his own soldiers or something, but because it's a Lannister soldier, he's not going to lie to Jaime, is he?
Yeah.
Even me and my tinfoil hat can't pull one out of that.
And that pretty much rounds it up.
It is indeed. It's all a big sell up for next week. I haven't, of course, you've seen the preview, and I haven't, so I don't know what's going to happen next week. But...
I'm not gonna spoil it for anyone. I like people can choose to watch that. I don't normally. I just couldn't help myself today.
Look, we've got 2 episodes. Sometimes episode 8 is a big episode, but it wasn't this year. So obviously 9 and 10 are going to be something spectacular. I'm really hoping we get to see some of Winterfell and the battle there. We see some sort of conclusion to that whole story. I'm hoping. Yeah.
One scene I've completely forgot to mention that I really enjoyed was when Podrick went, "Looks like a siege, milady." And Brienne was like, "You've a keen military mind, Pod." This episode had some of the greatest lines. It may not have been the best episode yet, but the lines have been good.
Wimbar was the best episode so far.
I knew that. That's why I deliberately didn't ask at the beginning. Because I thought our opinions ain't going to matter. You say it's the best episode, and I go, it was all right, but it wasn't as good as I expected. It's never as good as I expected. So that wraps up Out of Thrones this week. Again, I apologise for the slightly shorter episode, the lack of cast members, and no script reading and no quiz. This is like a really
sad times.
Depressing lucky dip.
Oh well, you got to listen to our boring voices for half hour, so
it was worth it. Like I said before, if you are into your gaming and you want to check out all the free news, you should follow the Out of Lives podcast Twitter, which I will just pull up to make sure I say it correctly, at Out of Lives Pod. There we are. You can follow me at Dave All OOL. I didn't really think about how to pronounce that when I typed it up, so that might change yet again. Kev, where can we follow you on Twitter?
Just follow me at Don't Shoot Tarney. Tarney is Tarney.
And we're going to be recording a few more podcasts as the day goes on. So if you want to listen to us get steadily tireder, carry on. They will stick to the YouTube channel, and you'll be able to listen to us live as we go on. We've got some good ones lined up. Xbox One later, things like that. So next week we'll be back with the full cast and a special script. I'll dig one specially out to make up for the lack of script this week.
Can't wait to see what you choose.
I've got 2 in mind. I just haven't decided which of the 2 yet. There's 2 episodes left. We'll probably end up doing both, so I won't remember what they are.
Okie dokie.
2 episodes left. How depressing.
No.
We should probably think of something we should do for the final episode to make it a little bit more interesting. Maybe get a few more of the Out of Lives team on, talking about our best.
Get drunk.
We'll talk about that off air. Stop boring these people. So thanks for listening, and drop us that 5-star review we obviously don't deserve this week.
And now this pod has ended.
We got no outro lines. Good night.
Good night.